Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, and welcome to MXGP Pro. Welcome to MXGP Pro. To start your experience, you need to create your custom model and choose a manufacturer. Then you will be led directly to your compound to learn the riding basics with the new bike. So at least Master and I finally realised what a tutorial is again. Let's create our rider then. So, the name. We've got a maximum of 8 characters for the first. Good to see the limit's gone. Good to see that they've improved that. You'd have thought with the new engine they could have maybe increased it to like 10 characters or even not 12. But 8. No, we've got to keep it at 8. Let's bring back the old familiar name. He is coming back to Europe as the nickname. Lucky his nickname in America became Highside in the end. So, let's see if we've got more than 5... No, he's got 5 stars. God's sake. And why is the font so small? When I used it for Supercross, the font could be so big. It could actually be bold, you could actually see it. Still being incredibly tiny at the moment. So I think we use style 2 in America. Or was it style 5? There are only 2 styles I actually kind of like. There's kind of the old style kind of high school style font, isn't it? You see on the back of jackets saying like Riverside, isn't it? That's what all the cool kids like. That program. That's old school, that's 80s. But very small, same as that as well. Should we go with style 2 and make it very bright? Make it yellow maybe? Or dark green? Because the light green is horrible. What about blue? That just looks like purple to me. That's how terrible my eyes are, by the way, if you actually see in blue. So there we go. And number, so it's 629 in America. Should we stick with that number? As unfortunately, again, it would have made sense if I could just, type the number instead of having to do this. Actually, can I type the number? Let's see. Trying to use the mouse. No, not at all. Seriously, it's just little things still. Milestone. You seem to be changing kind of the appearance of the games, but not actually changing the games still. So you go 629. I'm just glad it's a high number. I could have been here all day trying to select that. So once again, we just got 5 styles, as we got style 2, and I think we are going with. Was it the light yellow we're going with? Let's stick with that. Actually, should we make it red? Don't think I've ever actually used red as a colour for the back. Let's try and use character turn. There we go. He's finally realised. Oh, all we've got is dark red. Yeah, let's go with dark red. Why not? Same for 629. Let's see if he... Oh, he's figured out already. He's got the turnaround. He's evolving. We've got adapted AI. It seems like. So enter your team's name. Normally I'm elusive. Getting a bit boring now. Need to think of something else. Maybe No, not Milestone. Who would ever select Milestone in a Milestone games? Apart from Milestone. So what shall we choose? Shall we call it Jurassic? I had a bit of a kick watching kind of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World videos recently. So we're going with Jurassic, and of course he's from Macau. We could have somewhere else. Do they actually have Monaco? They do have Monaco. Do they have the Philippines? Of course they don't have the Philippines. They don't ride off-road despite being a very mountainous country with loads of highlands with loads of dirt. Of course you won't put Philippines in. I think it's just the countries that are actually in the championship mostly, isn't it? So let's see if they've got more than... No, they've got 10 types of faces. And no customization to those faces. That's why this has been a staple of many sport games. Of course, bigger sports games, but still. There's one thing motorsport games are kind of lacking, maybe, in character creation. You see that even with the Cody's games. They still have kind of set faces. Let's see if that changes for 2018. But I think we've had face 7, isn't it? I think that is Hillman. And then the height be 6 foot. Can we make him a giant? Can we make him over 200? No, we can't make him over 2 meters. Can we make him really short though? Oh, we can make him, what's that, 5.5 feet? Or about, thereabouts. Let's just go 6 foot. So there we go, Hillman has been created in MXGP Pro. And now for the manufacturer, we've got Honda, Husqvarna, KTM, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, plus TM Racing. Should we start off with the little manufacturer, TM Racing, or should we start with Kawasaki where he ended? That was actually meant to say yes. There we go. So, do you want to start an introductory riding tutorial? Nah.
Welcome to your compound. Here you can ride freely without time limits. Use this area to improve your riding technique or just to relax between races. You can also delve straight into the race, approaching the starting zone of each route. Okay, step on the gas and go.
So we are around the compound then, reading. Look at this. Definitely feels like we got a bit more freedom. We went out the compound. Good thing they didn't put up like actual rules, which would have been a bit better than the fake rules there. So now let's explore the jungle. So let's just go around the compound for a couple of minutes. Let's see how this handling model feels. We're gonna lean and we're gonna fall. There's our first fall. So there's meant to actually be a track inside here. Seems to be it. But it's very wide. We get up to 4th, get down to 3rd, get down to 1st. So the bikes are it's meant to be pro. It's meant to have freer air physics. So you might try and test that out over a couple of these jumps as he's getting used to hitting his head again, you know, out in the wide open spaces. There's also meant to be a supercross track in here somewhere, not just motocross. As we go through the middle then, let's try and hit a big jump, let's try and get some air. And let's see what this is like then, these new air physics that we've got with this game. Some of the big jumps are over here, weren't they? I should probably have gone the other way, I think, over these jumps, but here we go. Definitely feels a bit free, at least movement style. Of course, we've not got a big air yet. Shall we try that before we leave the compound? As we're just showing it off. Need to try and do a scrub. Come on, where's the absolutely belting jump for us to try that off? As we go round, right-hander. It's good this track is massively open. We tried to scrub. Didn't quite work out though. But yeah, this is the compound then. Just kilometre squared of riding round as... Oh, there we found the finish line. It's round the corner. Let's try and go back towards the finish line then. Let's see if we can do a jump over that. To end our time in the compound for the first time. But it's a nice addition. Of course, you first saw this, or first had it, in Supercross's DLC. It's good to see it's actual part of the game now. Let's here we go, set it up. Okay, maybe should have just gone, straight in the line. So here we go then. The reignition of Kev Hillman's career in MXGP. As we can choose a standard career with fairly customizable options, rewards, credit and fame, or we can do the extreme career, the hardcore career. Race options fully blocked for an extreme realistic experience, no rewind allowed, more credits and fame, a special rider outfit and exclusive livery for each of the 2 MX2 and MXGP championships. Of course we're going extreme. As welcome to career mode. In this mode you will be able to carry out your career in the MX world, starting from the MX2 class until you reach the Premier MXGP class. This year you can choose between standard and extreme career. These two careers use different save games, so you'll be free to pursue both of them without any problem. If you want, Extreme Career represents the greatest possible level of difficulty. Tackle it with caution. Well, that's what we've done in previous MXGP games, so of course we're going Extreme. As you can choose the Honda, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, oh, is a bit less good, KTM, Suzuki, TM Racing, or Yamaha bikes. And we also got the 125 options as well, the old 2-stroke bikes. Well, I think we're starting off with the 4-stroke. And I think it looks like the Husqvarna again, very speedy. Honda maybe a bit better on the old handling. Kawasaki a bit less good. KTM a bit of the all-rounder with the acceleration and grip. Suzuki a bit less than the Kawasaki. Same for the TM as well, a bit better on acceleration and handling though. And then you got the Yamaha, a bit better on the old handling and acceleration. So we could start off with the greatest entry, which looks to be starting off with a TM or a Suzuki, but let's go with a bit of the middle ground with the Kawasaki. There's game tiers. When you choose a main sponsor, you'll be assigned a specific long-term objective. There are various kinds of sponsors and they have different levels of difficulty. When increasing your fame level during your career, you'll be able to choose sponsors who will give you more challenging objectives with greater rewards. So you can choose between, it looks like 5 different sponsors. Oh, there's 16 sponsors you can choose from. We can just go for GoPro immediately. Or can we? Looks like we can actually. I would have liked this to have been a bit tiered, like they have in previous games as well, Milestone, but looks like we just choose the top sponsors immediately. Actually no, it is tiered. I'm being stupid. It is just the top 4 we can choose from, because then once we got 2,000 then we can select these. So yeah, it is tiered. So at least that stayed the same. Just a kind of different way of going about it with the fame points. So who do we choose to be on our Kawasaki? Shall we go with Trentino? We can't change it till the next transfer window. So objectives, when you choose technical sponsors, you'll be assigned specific short-term objectives. The different kinds of sponsor and have different levels of difficulty. By increasing your fame level during your career, you'll be able to choose exactly the same. So handlebars. This is interesting. He actually goes with the fame increase. That's pretty good to see. That was something that was a bit different in Supercross, where it's just about all the credits. This is about the fame increase. So let's go with PBR. Get their handlebars. Doesn't increase anything. Handlebars doesn't matter. Wrist sprocket. As you can see, we've actually got more elements to tinker with as well. It's not just handlebars, kind of exhaust, brakes, tyres. Actually got, and suspension. You actually got a rear sprocket, got rims, got hand guards, got the hand grips. Should we check out the rear sprocket? Looks like it does anything. So actually choosing any technical sponsor doesn't really do much, does it? Oh, but we can choose a blue disc. Oh, actually that does increase. That increase speed and acceleration. Let's go with it. That blue going with our sponsor. Oh, and this is massive increased braking as well. Should we go with the flat, way flat grooved? And then suspension. So we've got factory connected our MX Tech. That improves handling and grip. Let's go with that. And then for the rims, got Pro Wheel. Oh, we'll go with that blue as well. And that actually improves the handling a bit. They've got massive improvements already just with the basic sponsors. There's Golden Tyres that offer exactly the same. Let's go with minus though. So improve that handling, braking and grip. Then with the exhaust, of course they're going with the Japanese manufacturer. Oh, here we go. RS4 titanium carbon, speed and acceleration increased. Then handguards. All we've got is circuit equipment. This does nothing apart from... Actually, handguards look a bit better than they did in Supercross, so they're incredibly large. Bar pad is standard. Then circuit equipment. Got to put some blue on the ends, don't we? Actually, that's the light blue. Do we have dark? Doesn't it like we do? Could go with the Jupiter grips. Nah, let's just stick with... Actually, let's go with that top one. That looks alright. Then finally, go back to the handlebars then. Let's choose from PBR. Go with that blue. There we go. So there we go, our bike fully upgraded. With what we can do, remember we can't change anything until the next transfer. Remember, you choose all possible technical sponsors to attain more objectives and a better performing, more beautiful bike. I'm not sure it's more beautiful, but definitely perform a bit better. As fame is a value which represents how popular you are over your career. The fame value will enable you to earn extra high level sponsors and therefore attain more challenging objectives which give greater rewards. So it's basically like reputation in the MotoGP games. As the social feed allows you to keep in touch with the fans. So they've actually kept the social feed, have they? Here we go. So basically, instead of any emails, we've got a Twitter boss. We've got a social media manager, it feels like. Telling us about our rivals as I am your team manager. Welcome to the MX2 Championship. He talks about our sponsor and let's show our talent off. Let's see what we can do with customizable outfits then. Let's see if the customization is as good as it was in Supercross. Choice is definitely good. Unfortunately, we don't have much credits to do stuff, but we can just scroll through here and see what we can choose from. So it looks like customization is once again pretty decent. Lots of different companies to choose from, lots of different outfits to choose from in those companies. So that is good to see. Let's just choose for all of the boots. With 4. So yeah, it is decent again. It's customization. And we've got the net brace as well. So that's good to see. So, race options. Remember, we can't change these. We've got the full weekend. We've got realistic length, realistic difficulty, pro physics, rider rate is manual, transmission is semi-automatic. Can we make that manual? There we go. That's the only thing we can change, and rewind is, of course, off. So we are at the maximum as we head to the first race around the Nassau International Circuit in Qatar. Not that one. I don't think.
This is the first season of the FIM Motocross World Championship for the MX2 category. We expect a season full of adrenaline and surprises. We are in Qatar at the Losail International Circuit just outside the city of Doha, and the MXGP of Qatar takes off. The qualifying sessions for today's race have just begun. Who will record the best time and be the first to pick up their starting gate position in the next race?
Well, the commentary doesn't sound as robotic as it does in the MotoGP games. Still got some way to go. Ralph Sheen was perhaps the most natural still in the Supercross games, but still not too bad. So let's look at bike setup then. Apparently we have more diameters to play with. So we've got bike setup manager, we've got wheelbase. This is good. We've got intermediate, long or short. Something I'm pretty familiar with from, say, F1, where Mercedes has kind of a longer wheelbase car compared to a shorter wheelbase cars. Gives them certain advantages and gives them certain negatives as well compared to other wheelbases. So the shorter wheelbase more responsive and agile in cornering the bike is, losing stability. The bike is more jumpy as a result, while longer wheelbase, the bike has greater stability, making it less responsive and agile on bends. So as well as act on the suspension to attain excellent performance. So we rather want to change the suspension setup than the wheelbase, because that's a rather dramatic change. It kind of, as I said, limits options or makes them more wide open in certain areas. So modular mapping, accelerator mapping, here we go. This is pretty cool. Enabling fluid riding in a clean style. This mapping can be used on dry tracks for a more fluid riding style, on wet tracks for greater control. The aggressive mapping makes acceleration more sudden for a more nervous riding style. This mapping, if not employed correctly, can lead to intermittent sleds or wheelies. The modular mapping just much more regular curve, much more smoother. But again, if not poorly correctly, can lead to unexpected slides or wheelies. And it says exactly the same thing, doesn't it, at the bottom? That's very useful. Then brake response. So again, Just choose the map you want, aggression or modular. We're going to keep it modular for the time being. Same for wheelbase, just keep that in the middle. Then for gear ratio, look at this, we can actually have more options. So we've got 4 options there. And then we can change each setting. So let's just actually reset that to default, because that's probably a very weird gear setting there for Qatar. Let's just keep it at default. And then same with the suspension as well. So you've got the preloads, you've got the fork as well, compression speeds at high compression speeds and extension speeds with reduced values. The fork absorbs large holes and dip swells, but it can bounce and destabilize the bike. So basically, we don't want a soft bike. We want it a bit too soft, we don't want it too stiff. We want it to be in that middle. And then that helps with the shock absorbers as well. That with reduced values, the bike is little grip while exiting bends. And it tends to rise up. There's diminishing grip and traction. While with high values, it's more precise skidding and it's less reactive. And then we've got the springs as well. There's probably the thing I'm most familiar with, which is making them softer. That increase the load transfer, improving control but making it less reactive, while a stiffer spring, more precise, more responsive bike, allowing it greater responsiveness but diminishing control. And then we've got preload as well, which is basically, I think, ride access, that kind of helps with the ride height. So with high preload makes the bike higher and more agile, while stronger preload makes it lower and the compression springs more suitable for harder terrain. So we're just going to keep that at the default. But those are the setup options, much more impressive than they have been. So let's actually ride out there. I know it's been a while, but I want to show you all of the game. Now let's show me crashing in the game. Actually on the circuit, not in the compound. So here we go, round Qatar then. Let's see what Hillman can do on his bike. This Qatar looks very different to MXGP 3. Don't remember it looking this natural. All the tracks had this very weird colour to them. But good update it looks like, graphics wise. I might have to turn VSync back on, as I can already tell the graphics are going crazy with unlimited frame rate. This track looks like it's just set in the desert. I can't really distinguish it from the surroundings, but it looks very cool. And the bike handles, as I kind of would expect, it's not helping me much, and it definitely feels kind of familiar. Definitely need to use a bit more rear brake there, but we can use the signs anyway. That helps. There's got 22 riders in the field as I go a bit wide over the monster jump. Bit of a jump, kind of using the signs again. Go over the jumps, going a bit sideways, a bit too much. Oh, we tried to jump and we're down. So the camera angle is a bit different as well. This feels a bit more far back, a bit more looking over the rider compared to Supercross and MXGP3. So it's going to take some getting used to. Feels like we're not in the air a lot, when obviously we are. Feels like they actually have improved the air physics, because when I was landing that previously in MXGP3, that would be fine. Now I've actually got the sync of where my rider is. Landing, maybe not as much casing as we saw in Supercross as well, so that'd be good to see, as we did a 41.3. Just using our own line game. That's the fast line, damn it. Yeah, let's use our own lines. I am pretty amazed by how good it looks. I'd say that. Frame rate again, issues, but Qatar, you're looking pretty damn decent. And our handing is not too different, but again, it was meant to be the air physics, so once again we got it down. There is a bit of a narrow window of what you can operate in. It feels like MotoGP 18 in that sense, where it's a bit stricter. You have to be very precise, or much more precise. It's much more simulation, it feels like. So that's going to take some getting used to, especially compared to Supercross, where I could get away with some ridiculous things over some jumps and on the exit. But again, we've got a basic bike here with basic upgrades. Maybe that improves, and again, we've got a basic setup, so definitely got to explore options going forward. Because we're not dropping back too far. From extreme difficulty, remember, our opponents. There's someone lands on our stars, thanks for that. But at least they can't ride you for a whole straight now, I guess, if they land on you. So we've got 41. I feel like mid-30s is where we need to be time-wise. Let's see if we can work our way towards that. Definitely feel like I've got less grip. Rider animations is a bit more as well. As we go around the corner, you can see very cautious. Maybe don't need the map in the left because I'm not actually noticing it at all. Just focus on going in front. And with a purpose-made circuit like this, you can clearly see in front where the next corners are. Oh yeah, this is actually not that bad. Might have to change the rear colour number to like blue as well. Let's look at that. I crashed even though I felt like I landed normally. But maybe we just got to work on the springs for this bike. So there's definitely a bit more of a simulation slant to MXGP Pro. As we've not done one clean-up. I want to do one clean-up in qualifying, goddammit, just to see where I am relatively compared to everyone else. As we're 22nd and last because you keep crashing. But yeah, definitely look at this narrow line we've got in the middle. I hope that doesn't take away some lines. Like you take some ridiculous lines in MXGP3. You could go like 3 or 4 wide at some circuits. Like, easily. So once again we've gone wide. Definitely have to control the bike over the jumps. Is something that we have to get used to. So there you go. This is our chance. Putting a decent that. There's the rear trying to get away. Fortunately, the sounds of the bikes aren't any different. Still feels like we've got a herd of angry wasps behind us. It's not angry bees like we've got with Red Bull Rookies Cup in MotoGP 18. These are wasps. They will sting you and not care about it. Let's go through this section through the left. Taking some wide lines when really there's only one line. Into the jump. Definitely feels like you got to work it in these corners. Be on the right line. Be a bit cautious as well. So I'll find this rider in front. It's been a good tour guide for us on this, that. Very interested to see how the race goes. As going through corner, over the jump. Got to try and get that rear round, so maybe do have to look at the SEP already. Help that. Because can't just rely on the throttle. It's once again wide in that. Why have you reset me? I was about to rejoin. God damn it. So I don't think we're going to have a representative that time then. So actually the top times are 41 flat. That can't be right. So we're actually just in 16th, 3.8 seconds back. So we actually set a legitimate that time. I guess our 41 was actually a fake that time. I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised they're not quicker. Because I reckon we could match them then. If we actually got our shit together and actually rode around the circuit. But good graphics in the background. The right bar at the bottom is obnoxious though. Why couldn't they just be, you know, like they are in, say, the MotoGP games, just being a letter? Why is this white bar around it? It's just clunky. Feels old school. Feels like a decade ago in UI design. But we're in 16th on our Kawasaki. Not far off the top 10. So let's see if we can aim for that in the first race. As you do get some credits as well. Useful credits and a bit of fame. Might have to get rid of the voiceover. I might just do that like I do with MXGP 3. As that it's playing on every time I go into a session. It's annoying. But it is nice seeing we're in the garage. It's just a bit more immersion already in MXGP Pro compared to other milestone games. So that's good to see. It's kind of a throwback to the kind of the MotoGP games. The early MotoGP games when you were in the paddock and you could look around through the paddock and actually see there are other trailers outside, such as MotoGP 15. That was pretty damn cool. So it's good to see it return with MXGP Pro, and also you saw it in WRC4 if I remember correctly as well, having a service part just like this. So let's go into the qualifying race then. Let's see how we do. So we are revving it up at the start, in the middle. Remember to hold in the clutch. And launch yourself. Out of the blocks. We've got some good updates down the inside, but we're going for the first corner. It's a bit useless at the moment, so we're down to 18th. Oh, clip the out inside of someone, going to dive down the inside. As he got a 20-minute race here. This is going to be a long-ass episode. I might just skip qualifying and do the races then, if they're this long. Well, this is the qualifying race. Down our inside is someone. Oh, someone's just flattened by the sign. As we're battling for the top 10, this is where we want to be. Battling with, the Brit, I think that is. Uses it, the South African. As we've gone wide. God, this track is not wide like it used to be. That is one thing we've definitely learnt so far. And the battling's okay in the moment. You can be aggressive, but not too aggressive. We're not being pushed out of the way like we're not there. It's got the Belgium in front on the Yamaha. I remember that. Remember you, buddy. You've got Bogus as well, the Dutch rider. Come on, stay upright. Get going. As he dropped down to 90th after such a good start. Once again, carried way too much speed through that corner. But that's a bit disappointing if we've just got the basic setup bike, the basic upgrades, and we're matching these guys. Maybe we don't need to upgrade our bike then, unfortunately, in future. Once we get used to the game, we'll do that. Come on, stay upright. As we're not very focused at the moment. This could be a long ass 20 minutes, but I guess at least gives me time to talk about the game, I guess. Give some more impressions. As I do like the UI, apart from I said the clunky thing at the bottom. And I said handling much more challenging. But also the circuit's much more challenging. This is much tighter, as I said. Like, you could go 3 or 4 wide in some of these corners. Forehead. Now it feels like 2, 3 if you're feeling spicy. But I wouldn't recommend it. You'll probably end up in the toilet afterwards, feeling very ashamed and wondering why you did that. If you go 3 wide, as you go into the signs. And yes, you have to be very precise. Feels like you actually have to control the beast a bit more, which is much better than kind of on rails the bikes used to feel like. So that's good to feel, but not good to see, as you can see from right at the back. So 3.6 seconds back Ivanov. Go and just feed in that power. That's it. Just got to be much more precise with these lines. Not carry much speed over that jump. Once again, the camera angle is just not helping. How has he fallen there? Like the change in camera angle. We might actually have to change to like first person or something, because this camera angle is actually useless, it feels like, compared to previous third person camera. I have no idea why they changed that. But at the moment it's just taking some getting used to. Being a bit further back and looking a bit more down on the rider. So go feed in that power. We still got loads of time to catch up, so even though it looks hopeless at the moment, we could still get a top 10 if we get it together. Start actually setting some decent lap times. We're just 2 seconds back at the moment, as you saw in the bottom left. Let's just go through this corner. Just can't get any speed for any of these corners, so definitely have to look at the setup after this and change it a bit for the main race. As if you didn't know, MXGP, there are 2 races. This is the qualifying race, which you held on Saturday. Of course, you got a qualifying session that you saw, which was not very good. That's how are we down there? A couple of these I feel very mysterious, a couple of these falls, because it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything wrong, but I obviously am. And I'm just not noticing it. Like with some of those jumps I was landing or failing to land. Like previously, oh, that would be fine, but now, a bit of a different ball game. So yeah, MXGP have 2 races. It's a bit different in Supercross if you've been following that series, where Supercross it builds up to a main event. So it's MXGP, but in a slightly different way. As you do have a second race, main race, on the Sunday. Actually, we should have normally have the first race on the Sunday as well, don't they? I was going to get my wires confused, unfortunately, with like World Superbikes or other series which have 2 races. Or WTCR, which has 3 races. Amazing, that's the World Touring Car Trophy. The World Series has Garcia and Olsen are battling for 3rd. And this game is based on the 2017 season. So if you've seen riders and following the 2018 season, wondering what this rider's over here now, that's right. But yeah, definitely have to turn VSync on because this is appalling, this performance. Do apologise, it's translating through in the video as well. So at least we've got a buddy Ivanov to keep us from going insane this race and being like, where's everyone? Here's our buddy who's also struggling. It's lap time's 39.5. We're going much better than qualifying then. That must have been the one lap I didn't fall down. As he hit down the inside of Ivanov. Oh, he's giving us the room, buddy. Ivanov, best racing buddy. Get back on the track. That's what I hate about this respawning. You've got 3 seconds. How am I going to recover from that in 3 seconds? Like, at least give me time to recover instead of being like, no, get back there now. That's what I hate about respawning in racing games. I mean, we have this WRC7 games as well, when you cut corners slightly. Or if you don't cut them at all sometimes, you just get respawned. It's just with this system, it can be inconsistent cutting. And I'm guessing that's why they've put in respawning now instead. So maybe we can get away with a couple of cuts. But we have 3 seconds to get back on the circuit, so that's kind of the payoff. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that already, respawning. It's the same with even like Dirt Rally as well, the rally game. We've got like 15 seconds to get back on the stage. When just let me do it at my own pace. As we go down the inside of Ivanov, we're no longer last. Hillman, what a successful return. He's 5 seconds behind Monticelli. I swear Ivo was much better before. Obviously struggling now, the Italian. He's ahead of Roomwood now for the 19th. Obviously heard Hillman was coming and was like, no, don't want to relive this. That's all. Ivanov wants to battle back. Get out of here, Ivanov. But so approaching the halfway mark for this race, and again, I'm down there and I'm not sure why. Because it feels like I was transferring my rate to the rear. And the bike was just not happy with it for some reason. But yeah, we're definitely not pushing 100%. We're pushing like 70 at the moment. Oh, what is with that jump? That is the worst jump ever. For some reason, you just can't nail that jump.
that is so different as well to MXGP 3, where it's much more wide open, much more forgiving as well. So definitely got to work on that in the main race. But I didn't fully explain the race format, did I, before rambling? So we've got 2 races, qualifying and main. It's like, how am I down there? Feels like I've just gone down because my guy just couldn't handle a tight corner. He just likes the fast ones. And so adding those points together from the qualifying and main race makes the overall winner and the overall points you've earned. And you get 25 for a win, 50 maximum from a weekend, and standard scoring that you've seen in previous motocross and supercross games. And then of course the aim at the end of the championship is to score the most points, and you got a winner. So yeah, that is MXGP if you've forgotten. And you can see we don't race in stadiums as well like Supercross. That's very much, you know, entertainment based. Of course, it's entertainment based, but goes for the more natural environments apart from, say, Qatar, where it's built up. But we will see more natural motocross tracks, more fun tracks in Qatar as well. Like, I'm not enjoying this track now. It was one of my favourites before an MXGP 3, but being first up, it's a tough circuit. Very much got to follow a rhythm. So there we go. Actually went over the jump for once. As we're in the second half of the race, still in 22nd. Get out of the way, Ivanov. Kind of stopped us there. No, we really have to slow down in the corners. It feels like we can make the move down the inside though. At least our opponents seem much more self-aware of us as he just dives down the inside. Thanks for that, Ivanov. That slowed us both down by a few seconds. Let's get back by on the straight to go through the left. So yeah, much more self-aware than in Supercross, which is good to see. But I can't believe how long this race feels like it's dragging. God. But this is what happens when you're at the back and just getting used to it and struggling. And his return is Hillman as Olsen and Garcia up 3rd and 4th. They're having a good battle this race. Can we just focus on them instead? Instead of me being at the back, 6 seconds behind 20th. And scoring some points, I think. I think it's the top 20 that score points. It's not totally like Supercross where get to the main event, everyone gets points. In both races, the limit, I think, is the top 20. As Olsen and Garcia exchanging places, probably exchanging phone numbers as well. They really are getting to know each other. There's like a wide line there, but as you can see, just got sucked to the outside. You couldn't stick on that outside line. You've got to go back to this main line. As you can see, that's been sanded in. As there we go. You've got to go really slow over that. And then nail it into the final corner. Come on, get on the power. We are struggling with our lines at the moment, but you can actually see riders in front regaining. Let's go over the jump. Let's see if we can actually go the rest of the race without crashing. I know, it's a big ask, but I feel like we can do it. We just believe that the bike will grip in a couple of these corners and not lean as much. I think lean angle may be a big factor as well. I'm used to massive lean from, say, MotoGP 18 or previous MXGP games. This feels a bit more like MXGP 2 in that sense, where we can't... We're battling the surface a lot. We weren't battling the bike at all in MXGP 2, it's just battling the surface. It's incredibly hard. And so sometimes the bike, you would lose it and you have no idea why. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. But at least it's got that difficulty back, which MXGP 3 didn't have. Let's go over the jump for Hillman. So he is gaining though on 20th and a possible point. Got a point score in return. Again, I've lost it there. I have no idea why. Is it because I've landed way too close to the other jumpers? We definitely improved the gearing. God, this middle gearing is absolutely terrible. There we go, slightly wide. Over the jump. So go skirting the outside. And the inside. Feels like you can really use the barriers around it to be quick. Because our first that's a 39.5. Was that the opening of that? We set that. As I'll go wide into the barrier, you can see it really does save us in a couple of corners. They go past our crew, they must be what the hell have we signed? This is a Supercross champion. 2 times. An MXGP champion. Or MX2 champion as well. 2 times. I don't know what he's doing. He's just riding around, dilly-dallying around it. At the back. They will take a couple of rounds, couple of races to just get used to this. Let's look at that. Just what has he crashed on? Did he just crash on that tiny red thing? Are you kidding? And he's down again. Come on, we just got away from Ivanov. Now we're actually gaining on 20th. Well done, Hillman. You're starting it into the rhythm of things. Now you just shit the bed on this, that. So Ivanov pushes us right. I can see the actual racing not being as fun, though, as before. Even though we are banging handlebars here. Look at this battle for the wooden spoon. Might as well be battle for the championship with the way these two are battling. That's now we're 10 seconds behind Rubinini. Or Rubini. Let's go through that corner. Maybe we just got to get down to first in a couple of these corners. So we really are hovering over the accelerator, just not confident at all. So go get it down to first. No, first is actually useless with this gearing. We need to make this gearing much longer for the next race. So I said it was a long race before. Now it's a very short race and I am giving up hope of maybe finishing in first. Just a tiny bit. Still believe we could get 20th though. Definitely got the pace for it. Just got to keep this thing up. Right, there we go. Flat out through the left. That's just 3.6 behind now. Rider in front. And crossing the line, we're 10 seconds back. So there we go. 6.5 seconds out in one sector. Let's go for the right. There you go. Try to show some aerial skills. Not really doing it at all. It's now with 5.7 back. Make up your mind, go. We're losing seconds in every sector or gaining seconds. Let's go over the jump into the final section. Final third of the lap. But it's very challenging left-hander. We want that bike to slide. Then we've got to check up. There we go, 5.8. Now it's consistent, so we lost around a 10th there. That's set, and then massive jump. Through the left. Right, should have said, in the left. Got to be slow over that, jumped in. Now over this. Why is the bike pointing to the right? I have no idea when we hit the accelerator. Should have just been pointing straight. I have no idea why it does that. That's really definitely pointing straight. But again, surface again might come into play then. I don't feel like this track has actually changed that much during the race. You're seeing maybe physically, you can see it. Like the track has changed, but I'm just not feeling it at the moment. It just feels as difficult as always. Once again, 2 seconds back. We really do gain in that first sector. And in this sector, we kind of lose time. So go through the right. Once again, trying to brake, wheels hooking wide. Not saying the track surface is bad though, it is quite impressive it feels like how we're having to battle, how much we're having to battle it with the bike. This seems like they've made an improvement from MXGP3 where they had the battle of the track, but again the bike physics maybe weren't up to it. Both faces definitely seem to be up to it now. Go over the jump. Again, we're down. It seems like we are landing on the upslope. That's what's causing it. See, it's only taken a whole race for us to figure that out. That's how good we are at the moment. But yeah, definitely don't play on extreme level, I think, if you haven't played these games before. It's definitely not a fun experience. How are we down there? What the hell? The rear wheel just stood in the ground then. As we're on the final lap, is our torture over yet? I can't believe Ivanov is behind us. We've crashed. Must be approaching triple figures now. But Ivanov is just, you know, sunning himself, I guess, at the back. There you go through the corners. We're still just 3.6 off a point as well. You only lost like a second from crashing. See, it does show the pace is like there underneath. Just need to stay damn upright on this thing. It's definitely the odd section which are a bit more aggressive. Again, aerial physics. I know they kind of marketed this. Go around being a bit more free in the air. You can actually now whip and scrub as well. Not feeling at the moment, no. Maybe we just got to learn the air controls a bit better. We go over the jump, still 5.4 back. Go through the right. How are we off track? We're on the track. We're just on the outside. God, I hope this respawning thing is not annoying at every track. Like it was with the cut-in as well in previous MXGP games. As we've got 3 to go. We're almost there. As if you didn't know, time race, as you saw, 20 minutes. But you get +2 laps at the end normally. I thought at least anyway. Well, I guess we've got +3 because the leaders went across with time remaining. Or 2 to go as there goes Covington. Across the line, leading is the American. Look at that, 2.3 back. You can just see them at the end of this kind of whoop section. Oh, there's some of the old physics coming back. When you're braking, the bike instantly feels like it's regained grip. Like it's just returned to centre. Instead of having that rear just dangling out there. That's for 3.3 off a point. Come on, we can get a top 20. No, we can't. Are you kidding? Why are you going to ride in a straight line? Definitely cannot be as aggressive in previous games. Because now we're 6.3 off a point. God damn it. Definitely have to use the rear brake a bit more as well. And get V-Sync on. As again, frame rate is absolutely terrible in this section. As you can see, lots of stuff around though. Got crowd lights. The track turning back in on itself as well. So you have lots of riders maybe in the vicinity. I'm surprised we haven't been lapped actually by Covington with the amount we've gone down. But there's 20th right in front. We believe again in the point as Covington's on his last lap. So we've got a lap and 2/3 to go, or barely 2/3. Don't know why we braked for the left. We could go flat out there, 1.3. Oh, now we're getting some sliding going. That's more like it, Hillman. That's a Hillman we saw in Supercross. God, just reintroducing himself to the wide open spaces of motocross though. Even though this is a manufactured circuit like Supercross, you thought it'd be a bit more of a easier introduction, but the surface, the bikes are changed compared to last time. The champ has got lots of learning to do. But he was right in the tail, 20th, despite everything. Does seem like everyone's a bit more wide, spread out as well, a bit more wide open. Not as kind of packed as before. There's all Kawasaki on Kawasaki, is this? Or is that a Monster logo? And it's like it's a Monster logo. Get back on the track, why are you off it? God's sake. You fool! You finally had 20th and then you decide to go off the track apparently. Now so here we are on the final lap then. Come on, we can get 20th. Just keep it together, Hillman. I don't think I've actually kept it together for a whole lap yet. That shows how poor we've been. And we're 10 seconds away from getting lapped as well. As Covington wins. Got Ivanov and Olsen. Actually, Ivanov was last. Why is he battling with Olsen? Of course there are bugs already. Go with the performance issues. Let's go down. Definitely cannot be aggressive on this. It's good that it's more challenging, just maybe the fun factor's gone slightly as well with it, but we'll see when we get used to it. So 4.8 back. Come on, handbrake round the corner, there we go. Keep going. Just want to smash this accelerator sometimes, but then when you've got to learn to feed it in and out. Go over the jump, 5 seconds back. Go over the jump. Into the right. So over the jump, there's 20th across the line. And this is a poor homecoming for Hillman as he crosses the line in 21st. So comes ahead of Onos on the KTM, and then Olsen makes it, has fun, a double podium ahead of Garcia, Siva on the Suzuki ahead of Hunter Lawrence, Neighbor, Van Donnick, then Sterry in ninth, top Kawasaki ahead of that Husqvarna, and Bernardini still on the TM Racing, bike in 11th ahead of Ben Watson on the KTM and Bogues. Got Patrell as well on the Yamaha down in 15th, Ward in 16th. There's Monticello in 19th. There's Hillman in 21st. A minute and 36 back after completing 15 laps of hell. So not much reward. Them did not achieve the whole shot. Definitely not. Did get at least a nice race bonus. That's the only way we're getting any credits, I think. As there's not much fame increase either.